What's up, YouTube? Another episode here of In the Life with MightyFan. Today is Friday, February 18th, 2022, and got a few pickups here. I'm going to mix that in. Did go to the Mitchell&Ness store last Saturday morning, and actually was not expecting to get any jerseys. But I found this, and I couldn't let this go because it was there in my size, and it was one of the ones that originally I'm like, this is one of the ones I want to get for the sale, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna stick to hats. But then when you see it in hand, it just changes everything around, right? So I picked it up. I got the '94 Natron Means authentic version. I know they did this in Legacy too, but I wanted the authentic, because it has everything pressed on as it should be, and it does have the NFL 75th on there. That shade of blue is just crazy. It's really light. So that years ago they made a Junior Seau, which I have right here, and the color blue wasn't exactly as bright as this one was. So you'll see the two different shades. All right. So here's the Seau they made years ago from the '94 season again, right? NFL 75th, and here you can see the difference in the color. So this actually is more close to what they wore in '94. I never knew that. I didn't really do the research or anything. This is still a nice jersey, but doing like someone put a picture in our group on Kings of Throwbacks, and they had like the Means in hand, and they had like an authentic jersey from '94, and the color was closer to this than it was to that. So let me put this over here for now. That little correction. So for everyone that says Mitchell&Ness gets everything wrong, all right. So they actually did a little more research with this one, and they got this one a little more right as far as colorway goes. '94 Natron Means, and I understand. I shout the snacks, right? Throwback, and they don't do the yoke sleeves. I know that's. They don't do yoke sleeves. They used to years ago, and they don't anymore. But still a nice jersey. Means 20 on the back. Everything pressed on. The bolts, of course, as well. Real nice jersey. Like I said, in hand, I couldn't let this thing get away. Because this is one of those jerseys that I just feared. If I didn't grab it, strike while the iron was hot, I might not be able to get it. Because it is one that seems to move pretty quickly when it becomes available. Because, I mean, the powder blue Chargers are just so hot. Everyone wants them. So I was able to grab that. And I did get a couple hats. I had, the funny thing was, I didn't even think they had this in store because they didn't advertise it at all, like on their social media. Usually what they'll do on their IG, on their Instagram, is they'll show, they'll do like a story, or they'll do a picture of, new releases to the store, and they never showed that with Natron. So I had no idea. Didn't think they had it. I didn't really expect that they did. And I happened to see one in with the other authentic, NFL jerseys and the Charger jerseys, and it was a smaller size, so obviously. But I took it up and I said, "Hey, you have this in a 52?" At the store, but for people who don't know, anymore they don't go past a size 52 in store. Online they do, but not in store. I don't make the rules. But anyhow, so shout out to Matt, came back with it in hand. I'm like, oh crap. Because I had basically like a whole arm length of hats that I was going to get. And then he came with them like, yeah, okay, so I gotta put these away now. But I did pick up a few hats. I didn't let go of these guys. This was actually one that I remember they made. I don't know if it was Mitchell&Ness or if it was another company, but years ago when the Sixers celebrated the anniversary of their 1960s championship team with Wilt and Hal Greer and company, 67 I believe, 67. They wore the throwback jersey, the Philly jersey, like the old, from the Wilt days, right, and Hal Greer. And basically Iverson on the cover of Slam magazine, that jersey. And there was a hat that kind of was produced to go with the jerseys. And it was basically this. And I didn't get it back then, and I felt bad about it, because it's one of those that I wanted to get. I just never did, and it does have the logo. Because this is the logo they used that year, and they had it on the center of the court and everything, and I never got the hat. And it was one of those that I'm like, if I ever have a shot at it again. So thank you, Mitchell&Ness. They recreated it. So I was able to get it for the anniversary of the 67 team. And then I got these guys, as funky as they are. Something about them, man. Those diamond hats. I have a few, like, I'm looking at them right now through a cabinet, like a, container. That's the word I'm thinking. A container drawer. I got some, like, old school ones from back in the day that I got at a flea market type place, years ago. So I had, like, some vintage NFL ones. So Mitchell&Ness did this. Now, they've done their own different version of the diamond, hats in the past, but this is like they're kind of split, I guess. One. But I wanted to get the Sixers just because I like the colors. I think that looks pretty good. And it's got the green under. These are snaps, but wanted to get that one. And I also picked up the color. You can never go wrong with the Hornets. So I got the Hornets, Charlotte Hornets right there. Logo. The colors are just crazy. That just, always works well. Hornet hats are always, you can never go wrong. There's so many good ones out there. And I love the big logo on the front. It just really sets it off. So yeah, that was my kind of mini haul from the Super Bowl sale, and I'm glad they went back to that name because that was, I don't know, I see the problem with I can't flip the camera, but I have on my over here, so you can see my little collage. They called it the Super Bowl sale many years ago, and then they went away from it because they couldn't use Super Bowl as a trademark or whatever. The NFL didn't want them to do that, so they went to like winter sale. I know my finger is probably over the mic. I'm sorry. So they went to like winter sale. Champion sale was last year, so they got Super Bowl back. I'm glad they called it the Super Bowl sale because I always called it even though they were calling it the winter sale. I'm like the Super Bowl sale, because to me it was always the Super Bowl. So it's the week of the Super Bowl. Whatever the percent off. You used to be 50, now it was 30% authentic, 40% everything else is what it is. I wish it was still 50% off. I really do. Is what it is. And let me also breach the big topic of conversation today. So Mitchell&Ness got purchased by Fanatics, the Fanatics conglomerate, right, with Jay-Z and some others involved in that. And there's been, it's been a big topic of conversation within the Jersey Heads groups, as you can imagine. And for me, and we all know I'm someone who appreciates the brand. I almost hate to say this, but as long as they still are producing things that I want to buy, and I can't really see them changing too much with what they're doing, because it's something that's worked for them for so long, why change it now, right? And I understand, and I know the last time I did the End of Life on the way home from Cherry Hill Mall, I had part of the conversation was the Swingman versus Authentics, and that big firestorm that kind of came up that weekend in our Kings of Throwbacks group. And it went on for a little longer, right? It was something, and listen, what does this change, right? What does Fanatics, Jay-Z, like that conglomerate buying Mitchell&Ness, what is it going to change? And honestly, I have no idea. It's a big company that purchased it, and obviously Fanatics, once they get their hands in everything, they got lids some time ago. They got all those team shops online, right? NHL, NFL, NBA, all those .com, sites. They got, I'm not a card collector, but they got Upper Deck or whatever, whoever makes the cards. They got that recently. Now they got Mitchell&Ness. And listen, there's always going to be change. And the thing about it is it going to be good or bad? Time will tell. I know already people are worrying about the quality. I can't imagine that they're going to take a huge step down. And to me, that would be and listen, the jerseys that Fanatic, like the Fanatic branded jerseys, I can't see them doing that with Mitchell&Ness. And maybe I'm being naive to it. Until I actually see what they're going to do, I reserve my judgment, okay? I can't imagine that they're going to go to those levels, right? The Fanatic branded NBA jerseys are really just not very good. I mean, I do own a decent amount of the Nike Swingmans, The Fanatic branded jerseys, I think I have one. And it was, like I said, when I did the Steph Curry collection, it was out of necessity. It was the only one I can get. In that white jersey with the, the certain way so I can get the finals logo put on it. And you can really see the difference, even between that jersey, which is a Swingman jersey, and like a Nike Swingman jersey. It's just, it is a difference. And the NHL, the breakaway jerseys that they do. Now, I know that some of them you can get, with the custom, the authentic stitching and whatnot people have done. I actually have a Carter Hart, which I got his rookie year. And it's a Fanatics branded jersey I got at Pro Image. And I guess because it was custom, because he was a new player, it had pro stitching on it. Not the logo, not the crest, but the name and numbers were all done with the pro stitching, right? So it didn't have that generic Fanatics, Fanatic branded breakaway, name and numbers. Which is kind of similar to the old Reebok replica jerseys that they used to make. That kind of material, not anywhere near close to what Adidas does for their, even the replica line. Adidas is just much better. I remember a couple months ago I was at the Cherry Hill Mall again, and I was looking at the time the Penguins brought back that word mark Pittsburgh jersey as an alternate. That jersey goes back to the 90s. I have a starter replica Lemieux in that. I love that jersey. So they're wearing it again. Now they brought it back. And with, the current, logo on the shoulders and whatnot. And I looked at the Fanatics branded one at Pro Image at Cherry Hill Mall, and I said, no. This is not, And if people get them, hey, I'm not hating. But for me, I'm looking at the thing, I'm like, no, I need the Adidas in this because I want that detail, right? So I can understand the concern. When you look at the Fanatics branded jerseys, you would be a little concerned. Is this what they're going to do with Mitchell&Ness? I don't think they're going to do that. Now, again, maybe it's today, it's February 18th, and by the time these things start really getting involved and they really get their hands in these things, and who knows? I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to go to those levels with the Mitchell&Ness jerseys. Because the Mitchell&Ness, it's still, listen, it's still a brand, and love it or hate it, that makes stuff like, and they don't do as much as they do anymore, but they make stuff like this. And I can't see, the conglomerate of, ownership that took over Mitchell&Ness now saying, okay, we're going to go from that to the Fanatic branded stuff. Those jerseys. I don't think they're going to do that with Mitchell&Ness. I just, and again, who knows, right? I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to pretty much probably keep things as is. But what you might see, maybe you see more stuff being done. Maybe there's more stuff created because now Fanatics has it. Mitchell&Ness before this was owned by a smaller company. I forget the name of the company. I think it was someplace overseas. It really wasn't the size of a Fanatics, which has just become this big, dominant, sports apparel, ownership, right? So many companies are owned under the Fanatics umbrella, and now Mitchell&Ness will be too. But yeah, I don't think they're going to go as crazy to cheapen the brand and make the type of stuff that you see available on the Fanatics website or lids, whatever has the Fanatics name to it. I don't think that would happen. And listen, Mitchell&Ness in recent years has kind of cheapened themselves with the Swingmans and the legacy jerseys and whatever. It's been a big topic, obviously, of conversation for a long time. And people were upset with it from day one, you know. So it's not like Mitchell&Ness hasn't already started going in certain areas. But again, I don't think that Fanatics is going to go as crazy to just take a product like this and say, okay, now we're just going to do legacy line jerseys. We're just going to do swingman. I think Authentics are still going to be a basis for Mitchell&Ness for what they do. Now, again, is it going to be as much as it was back in the Peter Capolino days, the Jersey Boom days, old gold days, right? The old school days. Sadly, I think those days are done. But I can't see them getting rid of them altogether because it's still something that makes money. And let's face it, some players don't want to have swingman jerseys, right? Michael Jordan, the Kobe, you haven't seen swingman in those players. So I don't think they're going to start now because Fanatics took over. But I get the concern. I understand it from both sides of it. I guess I'm more of the optimistic side, that I don't think they're going to go as crazy with some of this stuff as some people are worrying about. I think there is still something to the Mitchell&Ness brand. And I think it's going to open the door. I think it's going to open the door for some more good product. You know, like I said, maybe more variety. Maybe there will be more availability of some of these jerseys, right? Because they only made how many per player, right? How many, right? You would go on their website, the jersey would be launching, and it would be sold out, and like, you know, for certain players, or certain, you know, what have you, would be gone within the hour, you know, real quick. Maybe now they'll get more product. Maybe they'll be able to do more. So maybe the sellouts won't happen as frequently for some of these jerseys, right? I mean, if I remember correct, like the Barry Sanders jersey, the 91 that they did, that sold out real quick, at least on the Fanatics site. And again, maybe they only had so much, you know, product that they were able to get there. Maybe now they get to have more. And as we know, when Fanatics does sales, Mitchell&Ness is part of it. You know, a lot of times there isn't the exclusions that you'll have on the Mitchell&Ness site on Fanatics. Now, maybe that changes because now it's a Fanatics brand, you know, umbrella. Maybe that is something that happens. That, you know, because if they're not having it on a sale on the Mitchell&Ness site, it can't be on. I don't know. Listen, I'm going down wormholes here. I have no idea. You know, this is just me spitballing, you know, pros and cons, right? And one of the cons could be the sales, right? Could be that maybe the product on the Fanatics site isn't on sale as much as we can get it right now. Or maybe it will be. Maybe because Fanatics has all these different sales, because they keep wanting to move product, the Mitchell&Ness site, you know, maybe now they take that over and that adheres to it, right? You know, where that product starts to get more sales. You don't have as much exclusion on the Mitchell&Ness site that you have today. Like anytime Mitchell&Ness's site, they do a sale, it's like more than half the site's not part of it. You know, they keep stuff in the new release section for over a year. You know, I mean, these are jerseys and hat or whatever product that's been out for so long, and it's still new release, right? So one of the positives that I can see of this move is the website gets better. I mean, that website needed an overhaul for years. The Mitchell&Ness website is one of the worst as far as sports apparel websites that's out there. It's terrible. It's hard to find stuff. Like whenever you click, you know, it gives you the drop down option of new release. You go to new release, it's like the same. And the newest stuff isn't even at the very top. It's like in the middle. It's like, what? What are we doing, man? It's awful. That site is terrible. The Mitchell&Ness site, it's terrible. Sometimes it takes forever to load certain pages. It's bad. It needs an overhaul. So if Fanatics recreates the Mitchell&Ness website, I think that would be great because they need it. And maybe that gets rid of the new release section. Maybe that's not a thing anymore. So maybe when they have sales, now maybe if it's still in the contract, look, Jordan, Kobe, some of those other players, if they can't have their stuff on sale, whatever, right? It is what it is. But maybe we won't have the same problem of all of these jerseys, like let's say this Natron Means jersey that's been out now for a few months. If it's on the Mitchell&Ness page, it's not listed as a new release. Now it's just part of their, regular section, and when they have sales, you can get that on sale. Maybe there won't be as much exclusivity. I can't speak right, but exclusivity on what is on sale and what's not. Because again, you go on Fanatics, they have a sale. It's like just about everything, right? There is no exclusions, even Jordan and Kobe jerseys. And now it's been a while since I've actually looked at a Jordan and Kobe jersey on there for the sale to see if you can still get a sale on it. Who knows, right? But I do hope one good thing that can come from it is the website. That gets better, easier to navigate. I mean, I've never had a problem on the Fanatics website. Like, I'm on there every day looking at stuff. I'm able to find what I'm looking for pretty easily. And I understand some people have had issues with it, and it is what it is. Not everything's going to ever be perfect. But as far as I'm concerned, that site, when you talk about Fanatics or lids, and I remember the old lids site before Fanatics owned them, right? And it was good. You can find a lot more on there. There was more availability, older Mitchell&Ness stuff and what have you, right? But still, I will take those sites every day, all day, over the Mitchell&Ness site. Mitchell&Ness site is just a hot mess. It's just a hot mess. It's almost like a closet. You open up the closet and everything kind of spills out. It's almost like that. An overstuffed closet, It needs an overhaul. I mean, it really does. They really need an overhaul, and it's been long overdue. It's been long overdue. It really is. So I'm hoping that that's something good that's going to come out of this. More product, more of it, more selection. Maybe, maybe you get more Authentics made. Maybe, because maybe, look, they have the big bucks, right? So, having some of these things created might not be as big an issue as it would have been for a smaller company. Maybe a company is not really thinking in these terms, right? So maybe now we get more of that. And maybe not, who knows? Again, time's going to tell. So I'm going to reserve my ultimate judgment until I start to see, right, what's going on, what changes are made. I mean, listen, I will be honest. I don't even think of Fanatics when I go to lids. That just doesn't even, it doesn't enter the equation that, oh yeah, it's Fanatics. I go to lids, and I know that was one of the big, sticking points, right, was getting the discount. I can still get the discount lids. Now, maybe it's different where some people are compared to where I am. Where I am, I go to lids in store, and I just give them my email address, and they give me the discount. There is no card anymore. There used to be that lids, access or pass card or whatever they used to call it, the club or whatever it was that they would scan and you would get the discount, right? Premium pass or whatever they used to call that thing. And they don't use that anymore. It's been a while since they've used something like that. Now that you just go there, you give them your email address or phone number, and they find your account, and okay, whatever the percentage, you get it, and that's it. And I know they don't do that online, and that's, that does suck. But at the same time, they're always having sales. Like every week. This sale, that sale. And anytime you buy anything from Fanatics, from lids, from whatever, in your package that you get in the mail, you get like a 20% off card. And that's good for any site that's under their umbrella. So now that card might be good for Mitchell&Ness too. On Mitchell&Ness's site. And I know you can find Mitchell&Ness product on Fanatics and lids, and you can get the 20% on that, But maybe that card would be good for something you just want to go on the Mitchell&Ness site and get something for 20% off. There it is, right? Maybe they'll have more sales. Maybe they'll do more. I know in recent time, like in recent years, Mitchell&Ness has done a lot more sales. Like they'll do a sale at the drop of a hat. Used to be it was like 3 sales a year for the store. Now they're doing sales just about every other month. Just some pop-up 30%, 40%, just here, we're having a sale this weekend, come in. Kind of thing, right? Never used to do that. You could set it by a clock what sales they were doing. It was 3 sales: the Super Bowl sale, the Father's Day sale, and the Black Friday sale. That was it. Maybe they might throw something like baseball season starts or the end of baseball season. They might do like a baseball sale, maybe a football sale, something like that. NBA, like during the playoffs. But even that was like towards the end of at least the old store on Chestnut Street before they moved to 12th Street. Now they're on Walnut. Right? So, and all these different, people owning whatever. It changes things, right? And I'm not blind to the problems. Listen, I understand the concern. Hey, they're going to just do less, they're going to do less Authentics. It's going to be even more Swingman. I mean, again, time's going to tell. We're going to see. I do think it's kind of interesting that one of the people who took ownership now is Jay-Z. And back in the day, whether we remember, for those of you who know or not, Mitchell&Ness made a jersey for him. The Rockefeller jersey, Knicks, looking jersey, and now he's one of the owners of Mitchell&Ness. But Jay-Z back in the day, appreciated, right? He would wear the product, he would have the throwbacks on, right? And be a part of that, right? That whole movement of that time, right? And so it's going to be interesting, maybe, I don't know if he's involved. Are they going to do more? Try to bring it in some ways back to where it was? Are they going to do more authentic jerseys? Are they going to do, is there going to be more availability for that kind of thing? And we'll see. We'll see. And I know I keep repeating myself with the we'll see, but I mean, what can we do? I don't have a crystal ball here to tell you this is exactly what's going to happen, this is not. I'm just spitballing, giving you ideas of what could happen or whatnot. I can understand, though. I can understand the trepidation from people. I know someone I know, we were, talking about on Messenger earlier. He's like, the shirts, the Fanatics shirts aren't as good as, some of these other companies that will do it, maybe like Nike or what have you. The Fanatics shirts that I've had, I haven't had an issue with. But again, everyone has their own experiences with these things, right? But I can understand that. Mitchell&Ness shirts right now, if you get a Mitchell&Ness shirt, although they are more made to fit, so you got to size up. But they are nice. I mean, they're comfortable. A lot of their t-shirts are lightweight. They have still nice hoodies and stuff for the fall. The jackets are still pretty nice. I have an assortment of Mitchell&Ness apparel, not just jerseys and hats. And I like it. I like what they do. It is going to be interesting to see what happens, when I will say this. I think one change you'll see is I think you'll see more apparel. I think you'll see more, not to say they're going to, do less with the jerseys, but I think along with the jerseys and hats that they put out there, I think you're going to see more shirts done, more hoodies, more, more apparel. Because, Fanatics, everything that they do, there's a ton of apparel, right? So I can see, the new Mitchell&Ness, the Fanatics Mitchell&Ness, or whatever they're going to, whatever you want to call it. I can see them doing a little more in the apparel department. Not that they'll do less with jerseys, like I said, but I can see them offering more selection of apparel. I can see that. Maybe some more hats. Maybe they get more into the hats too. And as we know, I mean, Mitchell&Ness had their own exclusive hats with lids, right? Like hats that you couldn't find on the Mitchell&Ness website or in the stores. Was all at lids, Mitchell&Ness exclusives, right? And this is before Fanatics purchased it, so maybe it was a sign of things to come. Who knows? But interesting news today. The thing I will say about it is, my money goes to what I have interest in, and if this move means that they're going to make product that I'm not going to have as much interest in as, say, something like this, like the Means. Yeah, I mean, the dollars will go elsewhere. And here's the thing. We're living in an age where there's so much out there. I mean, the custom route alone, I don't worry. I mean, I do like the Mitchell&Ness brand. I always enjoy my times at the store. But I'm not one of those that worries that, oh, Mitchell&Ness has to make this. Why aren't they making this? They have to make this, right? Because I know there's the custom route. You got True Custom, which hopefully I will make my first purchase with them later this year. You You have, I've gotten jerseys done by of course, Rivalry Sportswear. And that's just basketball. I mean, you talk about baseball, there's places like EPS, there's Bill Henderson, there's all these different other areas that you can get, like take like a blank baseball jersey, send it off, and get the player of your choice done up, right? Same for football. Same for hockey. There's plenty of hockey outlets out there. And I know Mitchell&Ness doesn't own hockey. And I do wonder if that's going to change. I do wonder if Mitchell&Ness is going to get the hockey license back. And I know that Adidas has them. But again, Adidas product is sold on Fanatics and at lids and all this. So I wonder if that's going to open the door for a possible return for the NHL with Mitchell&Ness. We'll see. You know, could be, could be not. But anyhow, there's tons of places that you can, you know, send off a blank hockey jersey or have the company do the jersey. They already have the jersey in hand. Get this name and number done up, or this for this team or that team. So many outlets. And obviously, you know, for those, and I'm not a huge, you know, flannel guy, you know, wool flannel guy, but you have Ebbetsfield, you know, doing their, you know, flannel jerseys for baseball, and then they you know, they're doing some stuff for football too, which I would love to. Hopefully before the end of the year, get that Pete Retzlaff Eagles jersey done up. But again, that is just, there's just a few, you know, of the outlets out there that you can get customization done. There's so much of it. I mean, we're living in a really good age for that. You can basically, any jersey that you can think up, you know, from various different eras, you can just have done up. You don't have to wait for Mitchell&Ness to do it. You know, if Mitchell&Ness never made this Natron Means jersey, there may have been another company that did. You can have it done, custom done, right? Mitchell&Ness doesn't do this certain NBA jersey from whatever era. Okay, True Custom, Rivalry, you know, they can do it. There's other outlets too. Find them, get it done. Baseball, it's endless what you can find for baseball. Hockey too, football, you know. You just have to look. That's what it is. It's just about doing the research and searching and trying to find that customization maker that you want to work with, you know, and that's going to be able to make the things that you want, you know. And again, I'm not saying don't worry about Mitchell&Ness anymore, but you know, years ago we may not have had as much of this kind of accessibility with customization as we have right now in 2022. It's endless what's out there, you know? So for me, you know, as much as I do appreciate the brand, if they go in a direction that I'm not really happy with, well, my money's going to go more to customization. My money's going to go to more of maybe trying to find the older, which I'm always looking for anyhow, but the older run Mitchell&Ness stuff, right? Even some of the more newer stuff that I don't have yet, you know, I'll look for that. I'll hunt around for that on the secondary markets. Or maybe that stuff goes deep discount on the site or in the store, and I can just grab it from there, right? And yeah, I mean, there's other. I mean, every day you go on eBay. Every day you go on these, you know, the Macaris, the Poshmarks, the Facebook marketplaces, the OfferUps. I mean, it's just endless. All these different outlets. It's like every day I'm putting how many other things on my want list, or my wish list, or my cart. You know, every day. So I'm not as worried about, well, what if the Fanatics takeover makes Mitchell&Ness this way or that way? Because I know there's so many other places that I can go to get what I want. You know, and even now, I don't wait for Mitchell&Ness. You know, if they're not going to make a certain player, why wait? I can go to these other sources and get it done. And in some cases, the quality might be better. Again, I don't want to take shots, but I mean, look, if the quality's there, and you can basically, it's a treasure trove. You can basically just, it's like you have a blank easel, and you can paint whatever you want. You know, so there's always that other outlet. There's always that other thing to get. And then we talk about the current stuff, right? The Nike jerseys, the Adidas jerseys. It's endless. They're always coming out with stuff that I want to get. So I'm not just dependent on Mitchell&Ness for my jerseys, right? I'm looking, you know, don't let these racks fool you, okay? There's plenty of other non-Mitchell&Ness jerseys that I have, And there's plenty of other old gold Mitchell&Ness jerseys out there, or even some of the more recent stuff that I would want to get. So if they cease and desist, all Authentics or something like that, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, that's the end for me. No, there's plenty of other options. There's plenty of other places where I can get these things done. And there's plenty of other places that you can get these things done. So don't be just dependent on one company. The optionality was a word that used to be thrown around here with the Sixers back in the Sam Hinkie days, right? Optionality. You need to have options open and just search wherever you can. I always say that the good collectors, we're the ones that do that, That's why we have what we have. I mean, yes, there were jerseys that were bought in store, but most of the jerseys in this collection that you see on the racks behind me and on the racks that you don't see right now in shot, they've all been from other sources. They've all been from other places online, fellow collectors, custom places, other stores, other websites, all over. I mean, I go to the ends of the earth to find these things, because you never know where you're going to find that next deal, where you're going to find that next item, right? So I guess the long story short, and it's always a long story with me, but the long and short of it for me is I'm not that worried about it. Whatever Fanatics decides to do, they're going to do. I have no control over that. Even as a collector, what can I do? I'm just going to wait and see what they do. I'll be disappointed. I will say that as an appreciator of the brand, I'll be disappointed if they just cease and desist all Authentics and just go, swingman or legacy route, or all they, do. I will say this, I think they're going to do more collabs. Like they just did a release, today or yesterday or whatever it was, NBA thing, I think, in correlation with the All-Star game, but they did a collab. And then there's just crazy price jerseys, almost $400, and they sold out like that, But I could see them doing more collabs with people in those entertainment industries, particularly with Jay-Z being a part of it. I think they'll probably get some more stuff like that done. I'd love that they got a Deftones Kings jersey done. Sacramento Kings, that would be nice. That would be like the one collab that I would ever get. Because I'm not, all the other collabs they do, it's just not really for me. So, that would be the one. If they did it, if they ever collab with Deftones on a Sacramento Kings, I would probably have to bite the bullet on that one. But otherwise, it's not for me. But I know it's not for me. So when I see all that stuff, it's like, all right, well, I'm not spending money on that. Let me put the money on what I want to put the money on, So, but I can see that. I can see them doing more, and it's always made money for them, those collabs. So I can see them doing stuff like that, for sure. More of that, particularly when you got people in the entertainment industry, now running, part of running the show, or their companies are part of running the show with Mitchell&Ness. I can see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that. But it won't be for me, If it's for you, more power to you. It's not for me. But again, like I said, for those reasons, I'm not really that concerned about it. I don't think they're going to cease and desist all of their Authentics. B, even if they did, there's so many other options. And look, most of what I get throughout the year isn't even at the Mitchell&Ness store. It's not on the Mitchell&Ness website. It's elsewhere. So I'm not just dependent on that, Even on Fanatics, I'm not just getting Mitchell&Ness on there. I'm getting the Nike stuff. I'm getting Adidas. Mitchell&Ness is a very, if the old pie charts, right? So Mitchell&Ness, for me, consumption, as far as buying in the store on the Mitchell&Ness website or Mitchell&Ness product on Fanatics, is a portion of the pie. Everything, it's like the most of the pie is everything else. So that's where I'm coming from. Now, again, I don't want to sound a certain way about it. I can understand where people would have an issue or be worried about what it means for the future. I totally understand, but we're going to have to just wait and see. I mean, I have to do what everyone else has to do. We have to wait and see what they do. I hope they improve the website. I hope that they do away with the new release section. So when they have sales, that stuff will be part of it too, right? obviously Jordan, Kobe probably still won't be on sale, and some of the other players, right? The usual suspects. I think those will still be excluded, but we'll see. We'll see. There might be more possibility of more Authentics done because it's a bigger company involved now. Maybe the dollar set makes more sense for them to do more authentic than what they were doing. I do think, and I'm sorry to say this, I do think that the Swingmans and the legacy stuff, I think that's going to stay because that's still a moneymaker for them. I don't think they're going to do away with it. I don't know about the quality. I don't know if they're going to go to what they've done with the Fanatic branded NBA and NHL jerseys. I would advise them not to do that with Mitchell&Ness jerseys. People complain enough as it is with Swingmans and Legacy. If they go to those levels of what they do with the Fanatic, Swingman jerseys, it's just going to get worse. And look, they're not dumb. I think they know what's worked for Mitchell&Ness, and people expect certain things when you think Mitchell&Ness, right? And I know the Swingmans have changed. They don't do the stitching, generic stitching. It's all pressed, and it is what it is. But when you have the authentic line, they know people still want these. There's still a market for them. They still sell. And as long as that's the case, I think they'll still make them. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully because it's a bigger company, maybe there'll be more. Maybe there'll be more authentics done. Maybe they'll pump them out as well as the swings at the same time, instead of doing, okay, we're going to do a Swingman, and now, okay, 2 months later, here's the authentic, Maybe that changes. We'll see. We'll see. This is kind of a wait-and-see type of approach, right? But again, like I said, all the worry about Fanatics taking over lids and all this and that, and I understand there's still some issue. Listen, I know they just launched the lids hat drop, right? And they put out a couple things, and people were having trouble with Apple Pay and whatnot, and this and that and the other thing. I get that. I mean, I haven't bought a hat from there yet. I know there's been a couple drops. I have yet to take advantage of it. But I did see when I put something in my cart, one of the problems people were having originally is when you were putting something in your cart, you weren't getting the sale price. Because if you're a member, you should be getting, and I know Liz's website doesn't do this, right? They used to. They don't anymore. That is still a complaint. But in store, you do get the, at least I still get my 20, 25, whatever percent it is. But so on the Lids HD, when you put something in a cart, you see the percentage off. You're getting that instant percent off, which is cool, because you don't have that on the Lid site. But then again, they have sales all the time. So I put things in my cart there, and then like within a couple days, it's, oh, here's 20% off, here's 30% off, and then you see the sale price in your cart. It's like, okay. Or I have you use one of your 20% off coupons that you get whenever you purchase something. I have like a thing of those, a few of those, right, that expire next month. But that's just, that it is what it is, and we'll see. But like I said, when I go to Lids, I don't think Fanatics. That like entered my mind originally, but since then it's just you get used to it. It's like, all right, they're owned by Fanatics, but they're still Lids. I'm still getting hats. I'm getting in store. I can get still a little discount. Online, I just wait for the sales, or I use one of my coupons. I'm good. Their changeover to Fanatics, as far as I'm concerned, and I can't speak for everyone else. And if you've had problems, I feel for you. I really do. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't had the issue. The only thing I will say about these darn hat drops is even on things like Lids, some of these hats they go too damn quick, and it's just but that's the problem that I have with hats overall. This isn't a Lids deal, it's a consumption deal. Because I don't even try. Some of these sites they put out their hat drops. I'm like, well, it's going to be gone in less than a minute, and I don't have the quick fingers. I do not. Anytime there's a hat drop online on Hat Club or any of these other sites, exclusive, all these places, ECAP City, all these places, it's like, all right, yeah. That's probably one that's not going to happen. I hate to sound like the defeatist. But I'm a defeatist when it comes to that because it's just, I don't want to be annoyed with something I have a passion for. So I know, I just get them where I know I can get them. Right? Unless I'm quick enough, I see something on lids when it drops. All right, well, I have more of an opportunity because they have more stock, so I'm probably going to be able to hit on it better than I would if the Hat Club or one of those other places get it. All right, go to my stores, find the hats there, bingo bongo, there it is, right? And also, I do want to do, though, because he does yeoman's work, I do want to shout out the Hat Crawler, Jason, of course, always with the alerts. And if you're not in there as already, do so. If you have Discord, if you don't, just get Discord and sign up for the Views from the Vault Discord page. It's amazing. So much. It's a great community. And you have the Hat Crawler on there giving you alerts every time something is released. Now, will you hit on it? Yes or no? That still has to be seen. But you still get kind of that first kind of glimpse, right? So you have a shot. If you click the thing right away, you might have a shot at it, right? So great job by him on there too. It's a great community. Believe me, that I was never a Discord person before this group, and I just really enjoy it. It's a great community. It's a lot of fun, and I show my Mitchell&Ness stuff on there. So the jerseys and the hats, the combo wombo, you know. So shout out to the Views from the Vault guys for their Discord. It's wonderful. And a great community of people on there too. Listen, this is going to be a topic of discussion for a while. And I understand the trepidation people have. I understand the concerns people have. Me, I guess I'm kind of just playing it loose right now. I really don't know what to expect. I have some concerns, but at the same time, I do feel that there's just so much out there elsewhere that if I can't get it done by Mitchell&Ness, I can get it done somewhere else, and I don't, maybe I'm being a little naive, but I don't think that Fanatics owning them is going to just kill the brand and it's the end of it. That's the end of Mitchell&Ness as we know. They're going to evaporate. I don't think so. I think that they're going to keep certain things the way it's always been with that company. Now, again, maybe they do less Authentics now than they did certainly years before, but they still put them out. And as long as I always say, as long as they still make stuff that I want, I'm going to buy from them because it's my money. And I put my money on what I want. So if they just continue to make Authentics and they're ones that I would like to get and add to the collection, I'm going to do it. Particularly with baseball, with football, and basketball. If they can get hockey again, that would be great. But, again, they make stuff that I still want. I'm still going to buy from them. Same with lids, same with Fanatics, same with, they're putting out stuff that I want to get. Now, it might not all have their name on it. It might not all have the Fanatics, name. But there's Nike, there's Adidas, and I think the Mitchell&Ness, they'll keep the Mitchell&Ness name. It will be a Fanatic, experience, but they're going to keep the Mitchell&Ness name. So, again, as long as they kind of stay to what's worked for them, and they'll add, they'll do different stuff, I'm sure. Again, it's a bigger company now, so that kind of widens the horizons a little more of what they can do. And let's face it, there's still players that they have under contract. There's still plenty of authentic jerseys they haven't done yet. There's LeBron, there's Steph. There's a lot of players. There's got D. Wade. I mean, there's a ton of authentics that they can make for these players. I don't think that stops because Fanatics got it. Now, the quality we're going to have to see. That's something until we actually have one in hand, we're not going to know. Right? So we're going to see what the quality is. It could be better. It could be worse. Right? We're going to have to wait and see. So I'm one of those that I'm just going to be in wait and see mode and take it as it comes, right? I do hope, like I said, biggest thing for me is the website. The website's got to be better. It's got to be better, and I hope that they just overhaul that website. I hope that's one of the first order of businesses for them to say, you know what, this website's just a hot mess. We're going to fix this. And I hope they do. I really do. I mean, yeah, you still have out-of-stock items sitting on there. It's like such a tease. It's like, why do you have that? It's not available. something that's not available, I shouldn't be able to go and see because that doesn't help me. Right? You know, when it's out of stock, it's gone. You don't have it on the site. Like, you know, you have these like Nike jerseys on Fanatics. When they're gone, they don't still have the picture of it and say, hey, look at what you could have gotten. It's gone. It's not on the site. It doesn't exist. Right? Mitchell&Ness, out of stock. The picture's there. So when you see it, you get kind of excited. Ooh, oh, it's out of stock. Damn it. Right? During these sales sometimes, right? So it's like, just fix that damn site. Fix that site, please, God. All right, 50 minutes now. I do have a few more hats I want to share real quick, and then that will be it. So this was so that's my spiel on the Fanatics Mitchell&Ness takeover. We'll see. We'll see. Wait and see. I'm just having that wait and see approach with it, right? Seattle Kraken. This was purchased direct from the I guess the whatever the Seattle hockey, whatever they call that site. They're like official site apparel site. So they do have the New Era fitted. See, this is one of those things. We talk about the bad with Fanatics, right? So if you go to Fanatics, some of these hats you won't find in the New Era fitted. You have to go to the team store for stuff like this. I know Rez, shout out to Rez, Sharks. They have their own team store in the stadium, and they have a lot of New Era fitteds in that team store. But Fanatics, you can't find them. So that is something that does suck. But this one I had to get because it's not only that I want a Kraken hat, but it's a Mariners hook. You know, combo wombo me. So I am enjoying getting hats of different teams and pairing it with another team with the same city, you know? So I like finding like hats that have that colorway to go with another team and putting them together. It's the same city, just two different teams. And of course, I like, as always, put the same team with this hat with jersey. But I enjoy that. So I got some Griffey jerseys that's going to go with. Speaking of Mitchell&Ness, here it is. This was purchased from, I forget if I got this from Fanatics or Lids. It was one of the two. I think it was Lids. Timberwolves. Got the Wolves there on the brim, the top of the brim, of course, for the jerseys of that era. Snap right there. This next one completed the trifecta for me because I had the blue and green in this. Fitted Dallas Mavericks. Of course, goes with the home jerseys of the time. So you think Dirk Nowitzki, you think Jason Kidd, you know, players of that from that time period. And of course, if I ever did get a custom, you know, Rolando Blackman white home jersey, which I'd like to get someday, this will go with that too. Steve Nash home jersey, this will go with that too. Maybe any other player from the home jersey from that kind of period, you know, goes with it. Mark Aguirre would be another one maybe. And this one was from Sneaker Politics. Never bought from them before, but I really like this hat. Got the Mardi Gras hat right there. I like Mardi Gras, so got a Mardi Gras hat. And I do have a Chris Paul Mardi Gras themed Hornets jersey that this would go with too. There you got the beads, and you got the musicians right there in the back. Very New Orleans right there, NOLA. And there you got the nice logo there in the front. And yeah, Mardi Gras coming up in a few weeks. I believe it's what, March 1st? It's Tuesday, March 1st, first day in March. Mardi Gras! Get your beads. So there you go. So those are the latest and greatest of my hat pickups, as well as the ones I got from Mitchell&Ness from the store from the sale last Saturday. And the Natron Means jersey. I do have one more jersey I almost forgot about. Talk about custom. So this jersey was there is a few sellers on eBay who have these like majestic jerseys, and you can customize them into different players, and for the most, I mean, they go with the era, you know, and what have you. So Bling King, I'm looking at you. See, Bling King got a David Ortiz Twins jersey before I can get it, And he was kind of holding that over my head for a while. Like, oh, you got that David Ortiz? Oh, yeah. Eventually, things come to the Mighty Kingdom, Bling King. You just have to realize that. So there's the there's the custom road David Ortiz Minnesota Twins. Not only is this a David Ortiz Minnesota Twins jersey in the road gray, which I love, but it's a call-up year, David Ortiz. This was his first playing years in his Hall of Fame career, okay? So it's from the 97 season with the Jackie patch. His call-up year. Not only did I get one, but I got his call-up year jersey. You don't have his call-up year jersey. I got his call-up year jersey now, so there you go. Ortiz 27 on the back. Again, these are custom done. Very nice, though. Love the patches. You know, me and the extras. Ugh. The only thing that I wish is, so Lids years ago had the Thank You Jackie hats done. I should have gotten more. I would love to have the Twins one now. I got the Phillies. I got the Mariners and the Orioles because I have jerseys with the and since I've added a few, now I need to find the Twins Thank You Jackie hat for the, because it has that logo on the side of each hat. But see, these are the things you don't think of back then, you know. Is what it is. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me on another episode of In the Life. Like I wanted to breach the topic, you know, Fanatics taking over Mitchell&Ness in my long about way of doing it, and I did it. I also had a couple things to share, a couple jerseys, some hats, and it never stops. Always looking, always on the lookout for that next item. So I'm sure it won't be long before I have more, and I'll have another episode for the Into Life series. I'm glad people enjoy this. It's a lot of fun for me to do. Yeah, I mean, again, you're seeing the wins, but I've also talked to you about some of the losses. By the way, one of the losses, as I made mention of in some videos ago, was that All-Star Rick Barry, Mitchell&Ness Warriors. Thank you, Berto. I know he just did a wonderful video showing the one that he was able to get. All right. See, that's more motivation for me to get one eventually. So shout out to Nostalgia Boy for that video. That was a tough watch. That was I let that damn jersey sit there for months. I already went over it, but yeah, that still gets me. That's still, but eventually they come to the Mighty Kingdom. Just remember, eventually I will have that jersey. I'm not letting it go next time. Not next time. I won't make the mistake. All right, everyone, take care. Thanks for watching as always. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell icon once you do so you get alerted to all videos by yours truly going forward. And make sure to leave those thumbs up and comment below. You know, hey, what do you think of the takeover from Fanatics for Mitchell&Ness? Pros, cons, you know, what do you think? You know, I gave you my piece on it. Be happy to see comments below of what you feel, concerns, or maybe things you're looking forward to. Like I said, I gave you some of mine, so you know, we'll see. All right, everyone, take care and have a good one. See you in the next episode.